Welcome everyone, this is Honest Restart. In this video, we're going to be talking about different third-party characters we can maybe see in the second volume for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass. We already had a video talking about different possibilities for Nintendo characters, but now we're going to be talking about third-party characters. Characters that are from non-Nintendo games. So what could those characters be? There's a whole bunch of possibilities, and there's no way I'm going to be able to get to all of them in this video. I'm sure you guys will have great ideas that may very well make it into the actual pass, so please share them with me in the comments below. Some characters that I won't be focusing on in this video, but I think at least have a possibility, are characters like Monokuma or Reimu. I know they have strong fan bases, they are characters that would be really cool, so if you think they make sense, for sure talk about them in the comments below. But I'm going to be focusing on particular characters I think would have a really nice impact and, in my opinion, fit really well with what we're going to be seeing with the Fighters Pass, but of course, there are so many possibilities. Now before we jump into things, I'm going to quickly talk about our social media. There's a Twitter page, a Patreon page, a Twitch channel, and a Discord community. Please check it out, it's all linked in the description below. Now we know that the first of the 6 characters in Volume 2 of the Fighters Pass is going to be a Nintendo character from the ARMS series. We don't know who that character will be quite yet, but we know it's going to be an ARMS character, and depending on who that ARMS character may be, that could have implications for Mii costume spirits and assist trophies making it in to the rest of the Fighters Pass, but we don't know yet. The point I'm trying to make is that right now, there are so many possibilities that it could be a character that has already been represented in Smash Bros. Before, it could be a character that we never thought would be represented in Smash Bros. The only real rule that there seems to be is that the character has to have originated as a video game character. So someone like Iron Man or Goku just won't make it in according to Sakurai as of late. And I think it's worth noting that because at one point Sakurai said Ridley was too big and he made it in. So really things can change, perspectives can change. Maybe some character that we thought was impossible in the past could make it in the future. However, Sakurai said this recently, so when it applies to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I think we shouldn't be expecting any non-video game characters. Now another thing to consider here is that there are going to be some Nintendo characters. We already know we're getting the ARMS character. You could make the assumption that the final 5 characters will all be third party, but I don't really think that's going to be the case, but it is at the end of the day hard to quantify what that ratio will be. In my opinion, it'll be closer to an even split, maybe it'll be a 4-2 ratio or a 3-3 ratio, hard to say. The point being though, is that I'm going to be suggesting more than 3 or 4 characters, more than 5 characters, so not all the characters I will bring up in this video will all make it in to the Fighters Pass, but some of them might. So then, who could those be? Well, the first character I want to talk about is Rayman. Rayman is already represented in Smash Bros. As a spirit, but as I've been saying with the ARMS character may end up being a spirit that's already in Smash Bros. As well, proving that spirits don't deconfirm possible DLC characters. We don't know that yet, but the point is, maybe Rayman can make it in. He's a character that people have wanted for a very long time. There's a large fan base. Both Nintendo and Ubisoft have been working together for such a long time. It's kind of weird that they haven't put in their mascot character into Smash Bros. Considering how much these two companies have worked together when you have all these other third-party companies that have had their big characters represented in Smash Bros. So I feel like at some point or another, Rayman has to make it in, so maybe now is that time during the second Fighters Pass. I could talk about trademarks or Rayman being stuck in the battlefield ice or some sort of Ubisoft AI suggesting that Rayman would make a lot of sense. There's all sorts of weird things out there, perhaps hinting at Rayman, but I think the point that Rayman is like the most important mascot character from Ubisoft alone is more than enough evidence supporting Rayman as a strong possibility in the second Fighters Pass. So maybe it will happen, I'm kind of betting it will, but we'll have to wait and see. Now in the Nintendo character counterpart for this video, I talked about Geno. Geno is a third-party character, but I talked about him in the Nintendo character video because he came from a Nintendo game, Super Mario RPG. So while we're on the subject, yes, I think Geno has a chance he can maybe be one of the third-party characters that we could see in the Fighters Pass. But there are other characters that are third-party characters, but Nintendo has had a hand in them being only on Switch or other Nintendo systems that can maybe make it into the Fighters Pass. Another example would be Akira from Astral Chain. Now, Astral Chain was published by Nintendo, but it was developed by Platinum Games, which is not owned by Nintendo, so it's a bit of a blurred line situation here, but I would love to see them in. There was a Spirit event not too long ago, so maybe they're not going to be happening anytime soon, but this was during the duration of the first Fighters Pass. We are now in the second Fighters Pass, which is going to be taking place over the course of 2 years. So maybe there's an Astral Chain sequel in the works, and maybe if that comes out, maybe not this year, but next year, they could maybe announce Akira Howard from Astral Chain and Smash Bros. That would be pretty awesome. I think it's a possibility, but again, there are so many possibilities out there, maybe it's not the most likely one. But continuing this train of thought of characters that are sort of like in a blurred line situation between first party and third party, another one would be Travis Touchdown. Now, No More Heroes is entirely third party, but Nintendo usually gets these games exclusively, or at least as timed exclusives. Travis Touchdown is at least associated with Nintendo, so that's why I'm talking about him during this portion of the video. No More Heroes 3 is in the works. It's supposed to be coming out this year, and we have seen in the past how Nintendo has used Smash Bros. To tease and advertise different games from both Nintendo and third parties. A great example of a third party one would be Hero for Dragon Quest, and a Nintendo one would be Byleth from Fire Emblem. They do use Smash Bros. To market these different things, and if No More Heroes 3 is going to be one of the bigger, more exciting games for Nintendo fans to come out on the Switch this year, it wouldn't shock me if Travis Touchdown makes it into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, before I continue on to talking about third-party characters that aren't necessarily associated with Nintendo, there's one more character I have in mind. But before I talk about that, I want to talk a little bit about the discussion about female characters in the DLC. You see, with the first character in the DLC, we got Joker, who's from Persona, and he is male. And then there is Hero, who is also male. And then there's Banjo, who's also male. And then there's Terry Bogard, who's also male. But I'll say that with Banjo and Kazooie, the bird, is female, and it's also an animal, the both of them, so I feel like it's not entirely, like a male-dominated character. And then with Byleth, it's both male and female, so I really don't feel like that's too much of an issue, but we haven't had an actual dedicated, singular female character. And I think part of that problem isn't so much that there's like some sexism with the selection of DLC characters of Smash Bros., it has more to do with the history of gaming. Unfortunately, there haven't been as many big, prominent female characters in gaming as there have been male. But that doesn't mean that there hasn't been a few, and one that comes to mind that I think makes a lot of sense is actually Shantae. I think Shantae would be a great fit. She is female, sure, but she's also a part of a franchise that has been greatly beloved on Nintendo systems for years, and she's been highly requested and hype and polls for quite some time. So, if there's gonna be a female character, a dedicated female character that is added to the second Fighters Pass, I really feel like Shantae might be our best bet, and I think she would be an awesome character to see. Now, going past third-party characters that are somewhat associated with Nintendo, but also continuing that train of thought that they could maybe be female, what about Lara Croft? Lara Croft is from Tomb Raider. She is one of the most prominent female gaming characters in history, and I think it would be very exciting to see them in Smash Bros. Will they make it in? Hard to say. I don't think we've gotten any Tomb Raider games on Switch yet, but it would be nice to get a couple ports. I think it could happen, and maybe they could help to market those ports with Lara Croft from Tomb Raider in Smash Bros. That would be a really amazing thing to see. Tomb Raider would be an awesome multi-plat to see on the Switch, but there are other multi-plats that we've already gotten on Switch that are pretty awesome. And one that comes to mind is the Doom series, and we've heard about Doom discussion in the past, and Nintendo has had discussions with Bethesda. However, they have said that there were no discussions about getting Doom in Smash Bros. More recently, but that doesn't mean those plans could not have changed and something could happen in the future. So maybe, with Doom Eternal coming out later this year, there could be some sort of marketing push, and maybe Doom Guy is gonna be a representative in Smash Bros. That would be amazing to see. I think there's so many gameplay possibilities with Doom Guy and all the different powers he has. That would be awesome. Now, some people may argue that he's too explicit. Maybe you're right. Or maybe they could just take out the blood and everything would be fine. I think that's pretty much how it would work. We've seen other M-rated characters make it into Smash Bros. Look at Snake, look at Bayonetta. They were able to make it in, so I think Doom Guy could be reworked to make it into Smash Bros. Will it happen? Hard to say, but I don't think it's out of the question. Another third-party franchise that we've been seeing come to Switch more recently is Devil May Cry, and there's been a lot of discussion about Dante making it into Smash Bros. Dante would definitely get a lot of people excited. He has a lot of people really pulling for him. He has a legacy, there is a strong fan base there, and both Nintendo and Capcom get along pretty well. They've had other characters in the Fighters Pass, why can't there be another? I definitely think there is a strong possibility that Dante could be one of the characters in the Fighters Pass. But of all the third-party franchises that I think are already on the Nintendo Switch, there's one in particular that I definitely think should be represented in Smash Bros., and that is Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot is a character that's been around since the 90s, and he was used with the Sony marketing to sort of compete against Nintendo and Sega back in the day. I think it would be really cool to see Crash Bandicoot alongside both Mario and Sonic in Super Smash Bros., and there have been some rumors talking about this. I really feel like this is a character that would make a lot of sense, and I'm pulling for this character to make it into the Fighters Pass. Some people might bring up Spiral as an option, and while I do think it's not out of the question entirely, I would say that if we're going to get any sort of Activision character in Smash Bros., Crash Bandicoot would definitely come first. Now I have a couple more third-party characters in mind that I think at least have a chance to make it in. I'm not saying it's super likely, but I do think there's at least a chance. There's been some discussion on it amongst the fan base, and I think that if there's some discussion on it, if there's a demand there, I think it can maybe happen. One of these characters is from a franchise that, as far as I'm aware, hasn't been represented on Smash Bros. Yet, and that's Kingdom Hearts. That's right, I'm talking about Sora. People have been wanting Sora for a very long time, and as far as super hype, amazing, really like internet-breaking reveals, Sora is basically one of two characters that I think could happen that maybe we could see in this Fighters Pass. So I think there's at least a chance, a small one, but still a chance, that Sora from Kingdom Hearts could be added to Super Smash Bros. In Volume 2 for the Fighters Pass. But there's one more character I have in mind that I think could be even crazier than Sora, and that's because he is the mascot for a direct competitor to Nintendo, Microsoft, the Xbox, the character that's basically the Mario for Xbox, and that character is Master Chief from Halo. Why is this even remotely a possibility? Well, admittedly, I think it's low, but I think there's a chance at this point. And I think there's at least a chance because we've seen both Microsoft and Nintendo work together. Banjo and Kazooie is technically from Microsoft, and they are in Super Smash Bros. So why can't it happen again? With the next big Halo in the works, maybe Microsoft would be willing to get some more marketing out there. Having Master Chief in Smash Bros. Would definitely get some more people interested in the Halo franchise, so I think there's a chance of that. Not to mention, there have been rumors going around that perhaps we could see the Master Chief Collection on Switch. It's been a while since those rumors came out, and we haven't seen anything announced about it yet, so my hope in that has been dropping day by day, but I still think there's at least a chance that there could be some sort of partnership here, and maybe there's a chance that we could see this unprecedented partnership, and Master Chief could make it into Smash Bros. Unlikely, but still a possibility in my opinion. And those are some of the many possibilities of characters we can see in Volume 2 of the Fighters Pass. What do you guys think? Do you guys have any other characters in mind? I'm sure you do, so let me know in the comments below. Anyways everyone, this is On Just Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.